Well, hello everyone. Thank you again so very much for sitting back down and joining me today. It's so very nice to meet you. If I have not already met you in some way, shape, form, or manner, my name is Ryan. Today's video, we're going to be discussing 1996's Uncle Sam. This is put out by Blue Underground. I picked this up during a Grindhouse video Blue Underground sale that was going on earlier in the year. And this particular film is written by the great Larry Cohen, directed by the great William Lustig, and stars Isaac Hayes. So that, not stars, but he's not the top bill. But that is a trifecta, right? That is a total trifecta. Not quite. So this particular film, let's sort of just run into the basic synopsis of it really, really quickly. We have the character of Sam Harper as portrayed by David Freilich. In the very, very beginning of the film, we see his death. He is a Marine. We see his death in a helicopter crash, and there is a really, really quick sort of bit of action that really sort of gets us interested when his comrades are checking on him, trying to pull his body from the wreckage, and he literally just up and kills one of them. He breaks the neck of one, shoots the other, and talks about friendly fire. And that's the opening of the film. And so we're sort of, at that point you're sitting bolt upright, you're ready for this, right? And the rest of the film is focused on the character of Jody, portrayed by Christopher Ogden. And he is Sam's nephew. He idolizes his uncle. He considers his uncle a hero, whereas his mother and his aunt definitely have a different idea and sort of kind of tiptoe around that because, he's a very young child. This is his hero, and they really don't want to expose him to the horror and the monster that his uncle actually is and the abusive nature of his uncle. So they sort of tiptoe around that, and when the body is brought back to Sam's wife, it is kept in the home, which I thought was kind of strange, but and this is taking place in 4th of July, and when there is an act of I believe it was a burning of a flag, this disgraceful act against the flag, he is brought back to life to wreak havoc and or to basically kill and brutalize anybody who is unpatriotic. So it's a hilarious idea, and it definitely gives us a little bit of that social commentary that Larry Cohen is known for. We have Isaac Hayes, who is portraying Sergeant Jed Crowley, who is somebody that served with Sam, and for all intents and purposes, carries a lot of burden on his shoulders because he ultimately made Sam the monster that he is, and he is somebody that does not glorify his past and definitely does not see himself as a hero. So there's a lot that Larry Cohen is actually using this to say. Unfortunately, though, it's said pretty quickly. It's not really so much like The Stuff. I'm always going to try to compare something like this to The Stuff because of the commentary aspect of it and the satire. Because The Stuff has a lot going for it because the consumerism, the advertisement, all of that Larry Cohen is discussing in The Stuff carries through the entire film. And then with that also, the film is hilarious all the way through, and it's got this great cheesy creature feature aspect going on with it too. Uncle Sam does not. What Larry Cohen is going to want to say about the idolization of the horrors of war and the indoctrination of patriotism into the youth without really explaining something like Vietnam, which is touched on, but everything that he could have to say is said very quickly. And at that point, there's really not a lot left. So what we're wanting is this zombie slasher film, and we don't get a lot of it. The film is actually very sluggish. The film is very, very slow. Nothing makes sense and nothing is ever explained, including this friend of Jody's who is blinded and wheelchair bound after a firework accident, who is for some reason psychic. It doesn't make a lot of sense, and it doesn't have to, if the film was enjoyable. Because obviously, I mean, we've talked about She recently. Nothing in She makes sense, but the film is so amazing and entertaining. Uncle Sam does not have that same appeal because the social commentary and social satire aspect of it is so thin. It's discussed, and everything that Larry Cohen could have to say is said very quickly, to where you're just repeating yourself and you're not giving us anything new. Now, the whole thing that we've been working on to with the finale, the 4th of July festival, where Uncle Sam is then going to truly wreak havoc, is very enjoyable. That's sort of what you wanted, but the build up to that is not worth the payoff, because the buildup is slow, it is sluggish, and it's kind of dull, in my opinion. I was really kind of let down with this one, especially with the trifecta, the trio of greatness that was included in this and what it should have been. Isaac Hayes' portrayal, it's definitely not his best, but he's fine. He's definitely enjoyable to a degree, even when he's really kind of bad in the movie. But yeah, I was really let down, really sort of let down. Because as I said before, I'm going to keep kind of going back to this because that's the biggest thing is, I mean, Larry Cohen, there wasn't enough. It's not that there wasn't enough that he could have said, but maybe he just didn't use it in the way that he did with the stuff. Or maybe, because really, in my opinion, the things that he can be saying in Uncle Sam are, they're a lot vaster than they are in this stuff, because the stuff is really rooted to advertisement and consumer culture. There is so much that can be said about war, about the military, about indoctrination of patriotism, and that sort of thing, about anti-war. But he doesn't really use it as much as I would have liked. And then on top of that too, the big payoff, the slasher aspect of the film, is so short, and it's very good. It is very good, because that's what we're sort of waiting for, because as the film is just plodding along and not really giving us anything, we're just sort of waiting for the slasher aspect to happen. And then when it does happen, it's very enjoyable. The effects are fantastic. It's very, very fun, even if definitely nothing is making any sense. We have no reason why Sam was brought back from the dead. Why his friend is psychic. It doesn't make any sense, but like I said, it doesn't ultimately have to if the film is enjoyable and entertaining, where the majority of this really isn't. So it's definitely a bit of a shame, in my opinion. Definitely a bit of a shame. The film itself, though, the restored version that is on here does look fantastic. I mean, it's 1996, so we're not looking at this, 40, 50, 60-year-old film. But it definitely does look better than it would have been, because they did restore it from the original negatives. There are 3 different commentaries on here, with one featuring Isaac Hayes himself. I definitely say that you have that trio of awesomeness, and I think that if that trio does still interest you to watch the movie, then I think that you should, because these are just my opinions on it. That definitely doesn't mean, I am not the be-all, end-all when it comes to saying things. You may very much enjoy this film a lot more than I did. Perhaps maybe it was just the headspace. Perhaps maybe I was thinking that this was going to be something that it wasn't. So that doesn't mean that I will not revisit Uncle Sam, because I certainly will at some point. And knowing what the film is now, as opposed to what I really sort of thought it would, I may enjoy it a lot more than I did now. So that's what I've got to say about Uncle Sam. Thank you so much for sitting down and listening to me, watching me chat about this particular film. If you like this video, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button for more additional content, such as reviews such as this, sale hauls, the Al Adamson adventures that were going on. All of my social media and contact information can be found in the description box down below. Other than that, that is all that I've got for you today. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I also hope that you enjoy the rest of your day.